What's going on, everybody? Thanks for coming to hang out today. Another episode of Coding with Dan. Today we'll be creating a blog site on our local environment, and then after we have it created, then we can upload it to a live server or a hosting service, and then your site can be live. So let's just jump right into it. So I will be using Laragon. If you haven't seen my other video, I will leave a link to it, but you can go to laragon.org. It's just a local XAMPP server, and I have a video on that which I'll post again, like I said, showing you how to set it all up. So I'm just going to run through this real quick. We're going to start with quick app, go to WordPress, and I show you here actually, but I'm just going to speed through this and not really explain much what I'm doing because I have another video on this. So let's just go to test blog site. Just going to create the database. So there we go. We've got our test site. We can visit the site right here. We can go through the WordPress installation. Let's go. Okay, so it's going to ask us what database name, username, and password. So if we come to our Laragon, and we can go to database, and over here, you can see for our Laragon database, we have localhost as the host name, root as the username, and no password. If we open that up, we can see we've got our database right here. So it is test-blog-site. So test-blog-site, and it is root with no password, localhost. Submit and run the installation. So here's where we can create our actual site name. That last part was for the database, so this will be we'll just call it the same exact thing. Let's do admin and password 1234. Don't ever use that. Confirm use of weak password, yes. And email, I don't think we need email. Must provide an email. So let's do it. Confirm use and install. And just like that, I'm going to go ahead and save it because I'm not going to remember that password even though it's super simple. And just like that, we've got our website on our local environment. This is on our local host accessing our local database. We can log in, and here's WordPress. First thing it's going to do is say, hey, you need to update it. This is the best time to update it before installing any plugins or anything like that. It's not going to mess anything up. If you already have themes and plugins installed, it's good to do a backup of your site first. However, in this little code along or tutorial, whatever, we're just doing a local setup. So it's going to let this do its thing. All right, welcome to 5.0.3. So let's jump into it. Plugins, what do we have? 2 plugins we don't need right now. I'm going to hit the little check mark to select all of those. We don't need that. Delete. If you're curious, this is just anti-spam for your comments, which in a real blog site, you're going to want that. Again, this is not going to be a real blog site. You have to pay to use the Akismet anti-spam service. So this isn't about paid stuff. I want to keep this all free. Hello Dolly it just pulls up little phrases every time you log in. Completely pointless in my opinion. So we've got our website. We've got WordPress installed. Let's go to settings and permalinks. This is going to be relevant whether you're doing a blog site or a regular website, e-commerce site, whatever you're doing. By default, the common settings, permalink settings is on day and name. What this means is this shows your whole site's URL and then basically your file directory, like your file structure. So if you create a post called sample post in this example, and you want to share that link, you're going to share this entire thing, and people are going to see that your domain name, which is fine for them to see that, but then they're going to see you have a folder called 2019 and another folder inside of that, 02, and another folder inside of that, 02. And what they can do, let's see if we go here, what they can do now is start manipulating this. They can see if you have an 01 and a 12 or whatever, and they can start maneuvering through your site on the URL up there, and you don't really want people knowing that what your file structure is. So anyway, I say all that to say use post name, because that just shows your website and then the page or post or whatever. Post name, always post name. Permalink structure updated. Let's jump into appearance and themes. By default, it looks like it's given me 4 themes, which I don't need. So I'm just going to click on it and do delete, free up some space on my file server. And once we put this thing live, delete that. Currently, 2017 is the active theme. We're going to go to new theme. And okay, we're going to go search OceanWP. In my opinion, this is one of the best themes. I use this theme and Astra the most on most of my websites. I mean, as you can see, words, 5 stars and 1,750 reviews. Like, that's pretty impressive. So it's a solid theme. It's very fast. The customization that comes with it and the free version is crazy. It's unreal. Okay, so we've got our active OceanWP theme now. Let's come over here and remove this one. Clean up our database a little bit. And if you notice up here, it says this theme recommends the following plugins, blah, 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 blah. So let's begin installing plugins. And we can use all of these, that's fine. So hit the global check right there and install and apply. And that's going to install and activate each plugin. Okay, and now they're installed and activated. I don't know what this whole thing is about. Unexpected output, but as you see right here, plugin installed successfully. Activation has failed, so let's jump over here to plugins, installed plugins, and if it fails here, we might just have to go get it manually. So Ocean Extra, it did activate, so we're good to go. So first, if you hover your mouse over your website name up here, you can right click and open a new tab, or if you're using a mouse, which you probably are, you can click the mouse wheel, just click it down and that automatically opens the URL in a different page or different tab. So here's our website, pretty bad. We have a default blog that WordPress has taken the liberty to write for us. We've got our page title, our site name, our header, and in OceanWP it adds a top bar. I don't know if you can really see that. There's a line there. And then our default page layout is content left and a sidebar right. We can change all of that by going into Appearance, Customize, and this is going to be our main customizer for all the global styling and layout and design of our website. I'll show you here in a little bit how we can change individual pages based on content or whatever we want it to look like. So for me, if we're going to do a blog site, we can remove the top bar. So you can see there's a section right here, top bar, general, and just uncheck that. And that's going to push everything up, and there we go. You can keep it if you want. You can put your social icons up there, whatever. Like, make this site your own. I'm just showing you kind of how I do it, and hopefully sparking some creativity. You guys can make yours your own. Site title is going to be right here. Tagline, we're choosing not to display it right now, just another WordPress site. You can put whatever you want here. Currently it's not showing. Let's see what else we have. Menus, we haven't created a menu yet. Widgets, the footer actually supports 4 columns. In this theme, it supports 4 columns of widgets. We'll get into that a little bit later. Homepage settings, this is where you can choose your homepage displays your latest posts or a static page. We will create a homepage and point it to it. For now, we can do sample page and show you. It took it from latest posts, which was WordPress default post, to sample page. We can publish that. General options, here we can do styling, and this is where you choose these little left borders here and on the block quotes and all that stuff, and on the hover. This is where you can change your global styling for your page. We could do green. I don't know why we would. It's, you know, I guess it's not horrible, but so I'll just keep it blue or default. So you can change that. Hover is when you hover over an item, it's the hover color, hover primary color. And then down here, links color, this is the main color, which these are links. The main color is this black, and then the hover is that blue. You can change all of that. General settings, so this is where you can change your content width. Sidebar, the width of your sidebar. But here, pages, your default page style. You can do full width, and that took away the sidebar. So on like your home page, this is what you would want, because typically you would have a hero image or a hero section with the big background image and call to action button, that kind of stuff. You can keep it a right sidebar for a blog site, just have all your posts show up here. For now, let's go full width. We can always change that later. You can change all the global padding, search results page, custom sidebar, yes, we can do all that. And you can add your default social media links down there. Also in styling, no, just kidding. Where is it? I'll get to it, I'll show you. Page title, you can show on all devices. Default is H1, heading 1, which is the largest. Heading, just a whole bunch of different styling you can go through. Again, I encourage you to make it your own. Scroll to top. We don't have enough content here right now. If we shrink the page down a little bit and we scroll down, here's your scroll to top right here. We can change the color of it, we can change the icon. I like this icon. I mean, they're all not bad, whatever you want. If you're running an e-commerce site and you need to have support for like live chat, that typically shows up down here in the bottom right. In that case, you can throw your scroll to top on the left, so it's not hiding behind or in front of that. I've seen that on quite a few websites. It's pretty annoying. We'll just keep it like that. You can change the background color of your scroll to top. So like we can do, wow, this is awesome content. Okay. You can do, of course. There. So you can change that, and then on hover, you know, you get the idea. Why is you not? Okay. Green, because why wouldn't we? It's beautiful. Scroll down, and we got that. Yeah, terrible. But okay, so that's that styling. Pagination, you can change if you have a bunch of posts and you want them to show up, you know, certain posts to show up, and then certain number of posts per page. You can do that, and it shows a little pagination at the bottom, you know, 1, 2, 3, ... 100, and however many pages you have. Forms, you can do default form styling. I'm sure you get all of the gist of all of this. Typography, this is a big one. General, it comes with Google Fonts already. If you don't want to use Google Fonts for whatever reason, maybe speed up your page load slightly, you can disable it. I keep mine enabled. And then on the body itself, your font family, you can choose a default main font. Like if we were to do, let's do Montserrat. Why not? There you go. Nice little modern looking font. So now if you notice, that changed the entire site's style, their font family, to what we put here. Now each individual page, you can change the styling on that page. You can change, I'll show you in Elementor later how you can change individual styling for individual paragraphs and all that stuff. But there you go, typography in general. You can have each size heading be a different, the main menu, everything just be a different style. So let's come here, down here to, what is it? I guess we can just keep moving down. Header, general. So your header is this part right here, this white part. You can change the background color. You can even have it transparent if you want to. That's not going to show anything, but you can change all this. There we go. And so you can see you can have a totally customized header. We'll do default for now. Full width, that's going to take all this content and stick it to the sides with no padding. I like kind of a container look where everything is uniform all the way down. So I'm going to keep it like that. There is a border bottom. At the moment, we can just remove that. And that is, that's for when I do like a transparent header and I put a big image as the main page. It shows behind. I don't like having that little border showing, if that makes any sense. Header media. So here, I don't have any media at the moment. Let's go to Pexels. and just grab something just to show you. That's a video. Don't need a video. Let's just go here and we can, okay, there we go. So I just want to show you this real quick. Media library, you can just click and drag your images or videos into your media library, and it shows you the name, the date, the size, and in here you can do stuff for your SEO, your search engine optimization. You can do alt text like blue sky beach something, and your alt text is what's going to show up if your image ever gets corrupted or gets deleted or whatever and goes away. It'll show a little icon with this text so people will still get the gist of what it is. No need for description or anything like that just now. We can select and crop. It's saying the size of this that it's asking for is recommended this size. We can just crop it, and then there's that. Now I don't know why you'd want to do this. I mean, definitely not this image, but maybe you can do like a cool confetti background or something. I don't know. I'm going to hide the image because we're going to do something a little bit more cool than that. I'm just showing you that you can do that. Logo, if you have a logo, you can put one there. I don't have a logo, so I'm just going to keep it as is. Menu, we don't have a menu created just yet, but here is where you can change the styling of it. Drop down style, the width of the drop down, the border color. There's one thing on here. Where is it? No effects. Mobile menu. I like to remove this text because right now if we shrink this down, I think it still shows, no it does not. Well, anyway, I'll show you later. It shows the hamburger, your classic hamburger, those 3 bars, and then it says the actual word menu. I mean, people know that's a menu, so I like to just remove that, and then it's just showing the bars from Font Awesome Icons. And yeah, that's about that. You can have your sidebar, I'm sorry, your mobile menu be a sidebar. So if you click it, it scoots the content over and shows a sidebar with your menu. You can have it be a drop down, which is self-explanatory. And then you can have a full screen, which it just shows the 3 bars. When you click on it, it puts a overlay over your entire website with some transparency on it, and your menu items are center aligned on it. We'll stick with sidebar for now. Come back here. Blog entries is your default right sidebar, so your content is left, your sidebar is on the right. Your heading tag, all this cool stuff. Your meta, so on the sidebar you'll have a little meta section down there. You can hide all that too. We will get into that a little bit later. Single post, default width, and all that stuff, and all the stuff, you know, what you want showing. We'll just leave all that as it is. The sidebar, we can do, you know, the width, the coloring, and all that stuff. Footer widgets. This is the 4 columns. If you choose to have 4, you can have up to 4 different widgets on your footer. You can change some styling here. And then footer bottom, this is pretty cool. Your copyright section right here. You can change that to say copyright. In our case, it's test blog site. It doesn't show the date right here, but it will on the actual site. All it's doing is grabbing the current year and this little short code here, so you don't have to maintain it every year. Come in here and, you know, statically type the next year. It automatically does that for you. I think that's pretty cool. We can publish that, and then your custom CSS. So if some styling, whatever, is giving you some problems, you can come in here and override it. And that is just a quick look at the customizer. We can X out of there, and you can get lost in that thing too. You guys can spend hours in there just fine-tuning the website. I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. I just want to get this thing kind of built so you guys can play around with it. So if we refresh this now, yeah, it's still not looking that good. Welcome to OceanWP. Are you sure you want to create an amazing website? Yes, I am. So you can skip this or you can run it. I've done both. Either way is just fine. If you're curious, I'll go ahead and run the setup. This is just with the theme, the OceanWP theme. They run through a nice little setup for you. If you don't know what you're doing at all, you can run this little wizard. There's no problem with that. So you can say get started. Here you can choose templates. So it's all built on the WP theme, or the OceanWP theme, but they're different templates. So like if you're gonna have a blog site, there's a blog right there. Live preview, you can see what it would look like. You know, there's your logo. Here's the full screen menu with the center aligned menu items, and it does the same on your mobile devices as well. See, there's where the words say menu. You know, not bad. So you can pick a theme, and honestly, if you guys do this, then you know we're basically done. If you want to learn how to create your own, then we'll keep going. But up to this point, if you just want to hit import or select that and import it, then go right ahead. So I'm going to skip this step. So here's where you can do your logo, your retina logo, your site title, which we already set that up. You remember seeing this in the customizer. Your site icon, that's what shows up here in the local environment. That's not that big of a deal, but when you go live, you'll want to have that little icon up there. Helps brand your site, or your site, your blog site. Somebody's calling me. Hold on. No, I'm busy. All right. Links and all that stuff. So I guess we can hit continue. It's defaulted to what we have. Your website is ready. First part of creating your website. There's still some work to be done. Though as promised, we've created bonus introduction video series, and I can't read, so blah 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 blah. There you go. You can send the guide to your email address and then follow those videos. Now we can view our website, and it's exactly what we got right here. So dashboard. So just to recap, we have created our website. We've installed WordPress on it. We created we installed a theme. Now there's a few other things we need to do. We need to, I guess, overall style it and figure out what the layout is as far as how it's going to look, because this isn't going to cut it. No one's going to stay here and read what we have there. So we have layout to do, and we're going to use Elementor for that. However, right now, let's go to pages, and we have privacy policy, which is a draft, and anything that's a draft is not posted. You can't get to it. So if we just click on it, let's see. And this is the Gutenberg editor. If you guys are not familiar with it, it's a block-based editor. I think it's their attempt to, I guess, put their name in the page layout industry, because before it was a text base and a visual, you know, you just could write stuff in there, and you had to know custom HTML to put it in the text section if you wanted to do columns and all that kind of stuff. Well, now they are allowing us to do different blocks. Like we can click a section and say we want an image here. We can go to our media library, pick this image, select. Now we got an image right there. Not that bad, you know, it is what it is. But right now it is publish. Well, it's currently in a draft. I don't see where it says that here, but we know that because we saw it in the pages. It was draft. We can publish this, and now we still don't have a menu yet, so we can / what's it called? Privacy policy. So privacy dash policy, maybe. Yes. And there you go. We've got our page title. We have our breadcrumbs, so we can know what page we're on. We can go back to home, and it's whatever content they had written here. So let's go back to pages. Let's trash this sample page. We don't like it. Add new. It's going to show the Gutenberg editor. This add title, this is going to be your site title. It's going to show right here. So let's just call this home page. So right here, we are on our home page. So that means we haven't, as soon as we publish this, I'll just show you. We'll just publish it. We got to change all that. So if we go to home page, there, our home page. Since this is its own page, OceanWP, the WordPress theme we are using, has its own styling per page. So content layout, that's this, the width of it, and remember there's content, a sidebar on some of the pages. By default, in our customizer, remember we changed it all to full width. That's why it's showing full width. We can change it here. We can do left sidebar, right sidebar, and then we can choose what sidebar. So if we did right sidebar, and then right here it says sidebar, we can change it. We can either use default sidebar or whatever. Always on top, published, update. And then if we come back here and we refresh this page, now we've just changed the layout of this page. Type in a bunch of stuff there, update it, and refresh. So we've got our content on the left and a default sidebar on the right. It does support custom sidebars, so you can have, different pages could show different items on the sidebar. Since this is our home page, we're going to leave it as default, which was full width. The title, I don't want to display the title because I want to have a big image, a big hero image there, and I don't want the title messing that up. So I'm just going to hit disable on display title. The menu, we'll come back to that because we need to create a menu, which we will do right now. So we've updated it. It says page updated, view page. It's just refresh. It's this again. Now that we have another page, we can come here to appearance and menus. And if you notice, we don't have any menus to work with. So we got a create menu button right here. Let's just create a main menu and create. And then in here, we've got pages, posts, custom links, categories, and menu icon settings. Under pages, we have our home page and our privacy page. We can click both of those and add to menu. And now we've got our little menu structure here. If we, as it stands right now, these are two menu items on the bar, on the menu bar. So we've updated it. We'll come back over here and we'll refresh it. And it's not showing anything because real quick, we need to come in here to customize. I believe this is where it is. And menus, yes. So under menu locations on main, we're going to select our main menu. And that's going to throw it up there now. Now we publish it. Now we can exit out of it. Takes us back to where the last page we were on. If we come here and reload, now we have our menu. So there's one menu item, two menu item, 1, 2. If we want to have a drop-down menu, we can click and drag in, and you see the little dotted lines. It went from outside to indented. Now if we save it, and main menu has been updated, come back here and we refresh. Now it's a little drop-down. So you just hover over it and it shows the drop-down. And you can change all of this in the customizer. You can change the top bar color, the width of it, the background, the hover, everything. It's really cool. For now, we're just gonna have two menu items. Save that, come over here, refresh that. We've got our two menu items by default. OceanWP puts a search icon there. And this is what I was talking about. Why is it showing menu? Well, there's our side menu. Let's go double check that real quick. Customize. So we've updated our menu. I just want to take out the text, which I thought I did. And that was on header, mobile menu, menu text, display menu text. Maybe that's it. Refresh and minimize. There we go. So menu is gone. It's just this hamburger here. And you can change the size of all that. I thought it was right here. Bars. So this is where you could do your custom CSS code, and this might be out of the scope of this little tutorial, but I'll show you anyway. So you got your header. We remove the bottom border, so it's just blending in right here. If you right click, if you hover over and right click and go to inspect, it's going to pull up your elements down here, and it's going to show this element. If you hover over it, you notice at the top it shows. Let's just grab this. This will grab the entire thing. OceanWP mobile menu icon A. For specificity, we could just grab this class, but for specificity, that tells the CSS I want to literally look at this. If we hover over it, it shows us it's at the very top up here. When we hover over that, it shows it's 11.75 by 16. So that's the size of it. If we come here, we can change it here. We can increase this size here. So because we're working on an anchor tag, we're actually not going to use height, we're going to use font size. And we can do like 40 pixels. And boom, that changes that. 40 is too much. So maybe we can just do 25. That's good. Publish that. So I don't know how relevant that is to content you're wanting to see, but that's just something that you can do. You can change the styling manually by yourself. And that way it's much bigger. It might be too big, but a little bit bigger than what was currently there for mobile devices. So we've done that. Where were we? What were we doing? We were working on the menu. We got the menu created. Brain. We were working on the home page. So let's go back to the home page. We can just click on the home page, and now we've got this. So here, appearance, customize. What we need to do now is change our homepage settings, because remember it was set to current latest posts. I guess it did because we removed the sample page that we were using. So we want to do a static page and homepage, and that's going to take in all those styles. Now publish that, X out of there, and now we're back on our homepage. We could hit update. It's already done it. We haven't really made any changes. So real quick, let's add new. Add a title, and let's just do blog. And this we can have a right sidebar if we want to do that, and then the right sidebar can be default sidebar, and then we can change what we want to show in that. So I'm just getting the main layout, the main structure of the website going right now before we get into any styling. So we've just created a page called blogs. I have to come back here to appearance and customize. Go back to the homepage settings we were just at. I should have created the page before, and then we could just kill two birds with one stone. Posts page is now going to be blog. So when people click on the blog menu item, which we have to add, it's going to take them here to this structure. So there's an option under appearance and menus. There's an option to automatically add new top level pages to this menu. So just now we created blog post or blog page. You can see it here. Now we had to, physically come to this location, click on this, add the menu, and that stuff. Save. If this was selected or checked, then any new page we create is automatically going to add it to the menu. So that's going to be up to you. If you want every page you create to be automatically added to the menu, then you can check that. I'll keep it checked for now. The only time you wouldn't use it, or you wouldn't want to use it, I guess, if you have certain pages hidden behind passwords that you wanted only certain subscribers to be able to gain access to. That's where you can create your own menu with those menu items for those subscribers, and then add the subscriber role to that menu, and then come back here to pages, and then you can set your own page that displayed that special menu, if that makes any sense. I don't know that it does, but for now we're just going to keep this checked, and then it's going to automatically add all the new pages we create. It's going to automatically add it to our menu structure. Now the order you have it in here is the order it shows up on your top bar. So it'll be home, blog, privacy policy. We can go ahead and add another page real quick. We'll just call this one contact, and publish. Publishing failed. Contact us. Double check your settings. Publish. Okay, whatever. So if we come here, and here's our menu here. If we refresh this, it's going to show the blog that we added, and then because that option was checked to automatically add the new pages, it automatically added that. Cool. So we've got a basic structure set up. We have our home page, which in our settings, if you notice, you just come to our website, our URL up here, and it just brings you to the home page. And that's how you want it. If you click on test blog, it takes us to our home page. The home page never shows /homepage. Like, it won't do that. It puts the home page in the root position, the root directory, and it just references it with the URL only. However, the blog, it'll do /blog, and privacy, and so forth. Contact us. And that's why we wanted to use our post name permalink that we set up at the beginning of the video. So it wouldn't say our site 2019 to the month, the day, and then when this page was created. So let's move on. Pages. Let's get into some styling now, because we've got our structure set up. We've got our global styles set up. We have basically a decent flow going on. So let's jump into home page. Okay, so let's come back to our home page, and as it is right now, it's not looking that good. If this is the kind of home page you want, then we're done. You can stop watching right now, and thanks for watching and have a great day. However, if you want a prettier front page, we got to do quite a few things to change the look of it. So we've already done our default layout, which is full width. Our sidebar default, which doesn't matter here because in our global settings we did no sidebar. So this page is not going to have a sidebar. So here's where we're going to use Elementor. Elementor is a page layout plugin that I love. I usually use the Pro version. It has quite a bit more features that if you want to get into building an in-depth awesome website with WooCommerce, e-commerce website, custom blog layouts. It's perfect for that because it has templates you can use, and it's a fast, quick way to get a website up and running. I don't want to do a tutorial here based around a $200 plugin, so I'm going to keep it free for you guys, and do as much as I can with the free stuff, because there's a lot of power in WordPress just as is, and Elementor free version offers, as you can see, quite a bit of stuff. There's a basic section, and if you go pro, it's $199 for a year, and then you get like 25% off of the next year, and 1 year gives you free updates, and they update all the time. Like, they are active, they are on it. It is beautiful. We'll stick with the free version now. We've got basic, we have our intersection, which 2 columns, the heading, image. You can see all this stuff here, some cool stuff. And then general, image box, icon box, star ratings for like products and that kind of stuff, progress bars, toggles, you can see this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. So let's jump into creating our hero image, our big main header section. So we're going to do that by clicking the plus and just a single, this is your column and this is your container. This blue part is your container, and then this is your column here. So what this would look like, if you know HTML, this would probably be your header element, and this would be a div with class of column, and that would be kind of your HTML structure of this. So we're going to work on the container of it, the blue part, and I want to stretch the section. So you see right now it is in line with this container. To be contained, I want to do full width, so it stretches to the outside, because we're going to put a background image on this container. I'm going to keep the content width, I'm going to keep that boxed, because you can see here with this column it keeps it contained. So when we put a heading in there and a button or something like that, then it's not going to be stretched all the way to the edges. Here you can do column gap, default. We're not going to do columns up here because we just have this one. Height. So you can do fit to screen, which is basically going to be the same as CSS. Height is 100 VH, viewport heights. I don't want to do that right here. I just want to do min height. And you can actually do that same thing here. You can do 100 VH, 100, and it does the same exact thing as to fit to screen. And the cool thing about Elementor is on the settings that allow it, like height is one of them, you can click this little icon right here and it shows you the desktop, tablet, and phone. So that's pretty cool. So you can change the height per view breakpoint, per media query, basically. So we could do like, it's on pixels. Viewport height, we can do 80 on a cell phone, on a tablet. We can do like 70 or whatever you want it to look like, whatever you want it to be. Here we can do 80. Column position and content position, you can do middle. That this column here is right in the middle, so that would be the same as CSS doing like display flex, justify, content center, and align item center. That just centers it, all your content right there in the middle. And as your screen size changes, it's not going to be very good demonstration here because this is our editor view, and it's not showing us the container, but on different screen sizes it keeps the content right there in the middle. So and that's for that. So we're working on this container here. You can do HTML tag, you can have it set to header, you can you know, if you want to select things with your custom CSS later. Let's go to style, and here in the background where we have the header element selected, we can do background type, classic, and we can choose an image. We have this one image, so this is just going to be our beach blog site. And there you go. We've got a, what did we put it at? An 80 viewport height, so basically 80% height of your screen background image. You can do a bunch of different stuff here, same as you do in CSS. You can do your positioning, center. You can do top left, or whatever part of the image you want showing. You can even go to custom and change your X and Y coordinates to set a custom, you know, design custom position that you want. I'm going to keep it at 0 and 0 and not use custom, just do top center. I kind of liked that top left. It shows some ocean and some trees. And then again, on the position, you can change what position it is based on your breakpoint. So center on your tablet, and then on mobile, we can do center. Maybe on mobile we can do custom. So we can change it to like something like that. And when your site is actually live, we've uploaded it to, you know, a hosting provider, then you'll notice that this, for it to display correctly on your device, whatever you have, you know, different screen sizes are different. You might have to adjust it accordingly. Sometimes I'll have it looking perfect here, but on my iPhone 8 Plus, it'll be a little bit different. So I have to fine tune it. But for now, this is great. You can do percentage and viewport width and M and all that stuff to account for all of that. We'll just keep it like this for now. Attachment. If you want it fixed, you can do fixed, and you'll have to change everything there. But what fixed does is it keeps it image stationary and has the content scroll over it. So it brings the Z index of the content forward, kind of up a layer, and it pushes the image back a layer, so everything scrolls over it. Repeat, we don't want any repeat. So for whatever reason, if you saw earlier when I was changing the X coordinates of it, it was showing the image. We don't want it repeating. Size cover, and that just covers it there. And then, I mean, that's fine. We can keep it like that. Now, if you're doing a heading, so let's click on the column, right? So inside the column, we have another intersection where we can put a heading. And you literally just click and drag the heading into here. Here's where you can change the text of it. And welcome to my blog site. It looks terrible, right? We can change the alignment of it. We've just put the content in the middle. You can do that for different screen sizes as well, like on a mobile, you know, maybe you want it left aligned. I don't know, whatever you want to do, the functionality is there. So if we come here to styling, since we're on this, if you notice, this is our column. Well, we inserted a heading, so now this is our heading element inside of the column. So you click on whatever you want, you know, to edit, and it'll show you up here, edit heading. So we know we're on our heading, so we can go to the styling of our heading. We can change the text to white under typography. The font family is default, and remember we set that up in the global settings in our theme. So by default, it's taking on no, we didn't do Helvetica. We did Montserrat, I believe. So it's taking that on. If we want to change, you know, our font family of this specific heading, then we can always change it here. I'll keep it default. And the size, we can do like 70. And then again, on your different viewports, because, you know, it's 2019, so let's be honest, the most important thing is that your website is mobile responsive, it's mobile friendly, because most people are not going to be sitting at a desktop computer looking at your website on, you know, a set screen size. There will be users like that, but the majority of people are going to be looking at your website on their phone or on their tablet or whatever device they have. So it's very important that we change these different media queries, the different breakpoints. So on the desktop, 70 is, you know, a decent size. However, on a tablet, 70 is, you know, it might be a little big, so we can do like 60. And then on a phone, you know, it's taking the last size we put in. So on your mobile, it's looking at 60. So we can change it down to 70, and that's pretty good. And here we can come here to our container, our header. We go to Advanced tab, which we haven't looked at. On the mobile view, no, that's not what I wanted. On the padding, bottom, 60. So you can add padding here to position the content how you want it. We can do 80. Then we can take this guy, we can select the column, we can come here, unlink this. So when this is linked, whatever you change, it changes all 4 sides. All 4 values, the top, right, bottom, and left. If you unlink it, then it does each one individually. So we can do some negative here to bring the content up to the middle. That looks good. And that looks good. So again, you can change this to your little heart's content. You can change the font weight of it. You can change, you can transform it all to uppercase, to capitalize, whatever you want to do. You can italicize it, underline it, line height, letter spacing, and you can do that on each individual screen size. But I just want to keep moving on here. You can add text shadow and blend mode as well. We won't get into that. Okay, one thing I want to point out is up here, we don't have that bottom border on our header up here on our menu. So there's this gap up here. So we could change that with 2 things. We can select the container. We can go to Advanced. We can unlink the margin because we want to reduce the margin between the header and I guess this header. Is this even called, is this in a header? So this is in a header element. So this, I told you wrong earlier, we should change to just a, I guess it could be a section, it could be a div, whatever you want to call it. Not that that really affects much right now with what we're doing, but just, I like to try to be consistent. So we already have a header element up here, so this is now a section. So we've got this gap. If I were to right click on this and hover over the header, you can see there's a white gap in between this and this content up here. So we can either grab this container here, go to Advanced, and we can start removing the margin. You can see it pushing up through here. So we can do that until it's lined up right there, and now we've got we don't have any spacing up there whatsoever, but we also are dealing with negative margin, which I try not to do. Sometimes it's just easier to do that. There is a different way to do this. If we hit these 3 bars and then go to Exit to Dashboard, on header, no, main, right here. On the OceanWP settings, on this page, the home page, on the main, there's margins. If we disable margins and we update, if we just come back here, you can see we haven't looked at this yet on this preview, but you can see that that gap is now gone. We didn't have to come into here, edit with Elementor. We didn't have to come in here and do any negative margins to align it. It just did it for us there. So that's pretty cool. So down here, let's add another section. Just going to blow through this real quick. And this can look however you guys want it to look. Seriously, this, you don't need to. I'm not going to do the perfect website for you guys. Just there's not that much time. Maybe we can do 40 here. We can change to something fun, whatever you want to do. Again, maybe 30, and then 25-ish. Oh, custom. Right there, and then right there, and then here, completely undo everything that we did. 0, boom, there we go. So it threw everything off earlier when I did the custom style on this section style. When I did custom and I had this on the mobile view, I had it all weird and thrown off. It threw off everything. So that's why, really, center, just keep it, if you do custom, you got to account for all the different screen sizes and everything. Also to note, attachment fixed, it doesn't work on mobile. So once you upload this, it won't actually be a parallax looking header, only on the desktop. So anyway, moving on. Sorry if that confused you guys. Let's add some margin on the top and the bottom of this heading. So we'll keep it linked because I want to do the top and the bottom. We can do 60. and that spreads that out. Now under here, we could do like a section. Let's do a 3 section. So now we've got 3 columns. Actually, let's not do that, and I'll show you why. Let's just do 1 section. So we have 1 column. Let's add one of these icon boxes to it. Just click and drag. You got your icon. We can change the icons. Stars can be okay because, you know, it's right now this is what we're doing. Stacked, framed, pick whichever one you like, and you can change all of this stuff. You can have this be a square, you can have it rounded. So this is a heading, this is this, whatever. Styling, icon, you can change the primary color of the icon to be green. You can, we'll just do default, and then on hover we can do green. So when you hover over it, you can add animations to it, shrink. You can change the color of the heading, the title, all that stuff. The size, change the size of it per breakpoint like we've been doing. Just going to blow through this stuff right now. So once we have, you know, 1 column designed how we want it, instead of starting with 3 columns and then having to, you know, design each column individually, we can design 1 column. And then we just click on this, right click and duplicate. And then again, so now we've got our 3 columns there. And in here, if we choose this on our, we'll keep it contained, that way it's in this container. So that's pretty cool. So you just duplicate these and then now you've got 3 columns. And let's update it. And now we can check and see what our little site is looking like. There is our heading up there, our intro. There's another little heading in our 3 section right here. So it's not great, but you know, whatever. Let's click on this container. Under advanced, let's unlink the margin on the bottom. Let's put about 80 margin on the bottom. If we update that, come back here and refresh, it's just going to add some space down there. So the home page right now, it could be done. I do want to show you guys one thing real quick. Something cool that some websites are doing now is they're having transparent headers, and this is something that, you know, I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to do. And I think it looks cool if you're constantly building websites and they all start looking the same with the big hero image and that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's cool just to put a transparent header and have your image up behind it. So let's just do that here just for the sake of, you know, just so you guys can choose to do that if you want to. So let's change the height of this now to 90, and under advanced we can come here to the top. Now let's just bring it up until, put a negative margin on it until we hit, I guess, until it hits the top of the screen. Let's update that. If we come over here and we refresh, it's not going to look any different because we made it taller, so it's still going to show. It may have scooted up a little bit, but behind here now the image is behind the header. So let's make our header transparent. Let's go to 3 bars, exit to dashboard, and appearance and customize. Now you can, in Elementor, I believe you can do it in the free version, you can create global header and a global footer that you use in any theme. But OceanWP it already has one up there. It looks really nice, and it's extra work to do all the other stuff. So under header, is it general background color right here? If we go to transparent, now we have our menu up there. You can see, and you can have it, you know, slight transparency. Let's just go no transparency whatsoever. Let's publish it. We have an issue with our menu. It's kind of hard to see, but that's not a problem at all. Exit out of there. We're going to be back on our home page, which is where we are. If we refresh that, there we go. Now, down here under menu, look at this. Link color, link hover. Let's change the link color to white. And then maybe the hover color to, I don't know, something like that. Let's update it, refresh it, and now you can see that, and that is wonderful. That should have changed. Am I missing something here? Link color, current menu. Yeah, you can change that to be, you know, if you're on the blog or a different page, it shows current. That should have done the icon as well. So we can do that with custom CSS. We can change this with custom CSS, or you can have a logo and just not even worry about it. You can have two different logos. You can have like a white logo and a black logo for different screens. So we'll leave this for now. Just that's not a big deal. But our menu here is white and it shows up on this. And just to show you, we did it just for this home page. So if we go to a different page, this hero isn't, the image isn't there anymore, and our menu is the default color that we had previously set up in our customizer. So that's pretty cool. One more thing I want to show you, and then we'll move on. I know this video is like super long already. Let's just come here, and if you can't grab, if you see we're mousing over the header because this container is behind it, you can always right click and edit section, or you can come down here to Navigator, click on that, and it pulls this up, and we have 1, 2, 3 sections, and over here you can see we've got 1, 2, 3 sections. So if you just want to jump to a quick section, we're working on this section. Now it's highlighted, edit section, we're looking at this one. Under style, background overlay, we can put, we can put a gradient on there. Something weird to make the text a little easier to read. And you can kind of do, you can do linear, you can do radial, so it kind of shows center, opacity. Like you can really do some cool stuff. We'll keep it linear and opacity at like 50 or 5. There we go. So not too bad, maybe 4. That way we can still see the white text and we can still see some of the coloring there. Maybe 3. Nah, 4 is good. Update that. We'll come back here, come to our home. We still get some color, and you can change that, the overlay to a white. You can do any color you want to do. If you don't want to do gradient, you can just click classic and pick one of these and play with it. Yeah, there. And you can see I can sit here for hours and just fine tweak everything till it looks perfect. But so we've got our home page, we've got our heading, we've got all that. So let's be done with that. This was about a blog site. We just wanted a pretty landing page for people to come and see our site. So let's go to our blog page. So when we click on our blog page, it says you are currently editing the page that shows your latest posts. So if we go to blog, it's not, it's styled globally with our defaults that we defined in the customizer. It's just going to show the latest posts that we post. So to demonstrate that, we can hover over posts, add new, and test post is the title. And then let's just, we've got a lot to say, and we're just doing some cool stuff like that. And it's the best blog post out there. Additional CSS, I'm just looking. So you can change the background color. That's, per block. And this is just Gutenberg's styling over here. So one thing we can do is we can click out so not a single block is selected. We click out so the whole page is selected. We can go to featured image. And we have that one image. So now this blog post has a featured image. So if we publish this, now it is live. If we come back here and we click blog post, and then we now have 2 posts with a featured image. Our side shows our recent posts, which the only 2 we have, and automatically WordPress puts the author, the day, what category it's under, and how many comments are on there, and a quick little excerpt of what it's about. Continue reading, it takes you to that single post. And you can see the single post layout is exactly the same. This is where you can have a custom sidebar to, per post or different posts, different categories, you can have different options here. Or again, signed in people, you can have, different content showing there. So there's our post. You can comment here, great post, comment. You gotta be logged in to leave a post, but now it shows 1 comment. So if we come back here, we can see just overall right there. So that's creating blog posts. We can get into Elementor with an individual blog post, and I'll show you just real quick. This is where Elementor Pro shines. Like it's perfect for it. So if we remove this, so here's the static page content. So here we can click on this little folder icon and it's add template. And here's all the templates that Elementor offers. They're pre-built, they're pre-styled. When you insert it into your page, it brings in the images and everything. You can just change the heading. Just really cool stuff. It's a great way to get a site up and running fast. I will leave a link to Elementor Pro in this video. So let's look at, so there's pages and there's blocks. I think post, so yeah, so if you search post, so here's some pro templates here. You got your big hero image or your big featured image. With your social media, you can just click those icons and it automatically shares it to, you know, your social media. I think there is a free, it might be under pages, if we go to post. Yeah. So just to show you how to do it with a template, because currently right now, if we we saw it. Refresh this. This is our blog post. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not too bad. But now we've got this template that we imported. And in Elementor Pro, all this stuff is dynamic. Like this by Nick Johnson, it would be dynamic content of author name. So it would automatically pull in the logged in user, which we're admin. It'd pull in that username and put it in the post. So here, style, they have an overlay on it. Yeah, you can change the image, you can change, you can change everything here. Change the coloring, all these images. Here's your spread the word. You click on that and it posts it to your social media. Let's update that and refresh, and let's just see what this looks like now. Actually, let's exit to dashboard on the actual post page. So here, if we remove this featured image and update, we come back here and we refresh. Now it has the meta data up there, the author and the day and all that stuff, but it brought in our template. So it's a little bit nicer, and you can do this stuff in Gutenberg. I haven't spent a whole lot of time in Gutenberg, but these are all just blocks. There's just an image block and all that stuff. So that's Elementor, and let's add a new post, Elementor and just the Gutenberg editor. So other post in here. Here's where you can add a block. We can do an image. Now this one, we can do this, and it can be, you know, write a caption, furniture. And then if you just mouse down, you can see there's a new section. You can do add a heading. What to buy is a absolutely terrible heading, but it doesn't really matter. And then you can add in a gallery with different media library. You can select different images to go in your gallery, insert gallery. Now we've got a little gallery right there. Down here. We can just type in some test text. This is not a real blog. Really? Real? Blog post. Publish this, publish it, refresh, and come back here to blog. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, and it's posting your latest, your most recent posts first. And then there we go. We've got this cute little, nice little blog post. So you can exit out of that, click here to bring up all this stuff, set featured image. You can have featured images still. Update. And what that's going to do is we'll come back here to posts and test post. Even though it's Elementor, it already has the image built into it. You can still set a featured image on it, and that is going to show here. So now all of a sudden, you know, as we saw before, it's this nice look. Now I would recommend, you know, resizing all your images. That's different video entirely, but you know, pick your aspect ratio, your image size, and then stay consistent across your entire blog. So we have created a website, or we created a local environment using Laragon. We installed WordPress. We installed a custom theme. We kind of set up some of the back end structure with our permalinks and the pages. We set up a transparent header with a big hero image. We've got our front page, our blog page, which shows our latest posts. We can remove this heading. remember, by if we just go to pages and blog, we still have these settings here, so we can remove titles if we want to do that. Update and refresh just to remove that, make it look a little bit cleaner. What else did we do? Well, we created some pages. We didn't do a contact us page. Let's do that real quick, and then I'll end the video for you guys. So let's go back to pages. I know you guys have been hanging out here for a while, and I really appreciate it. Trying to go through this as fast as possible. Let's use Elementor for this. This is our contact page. Right now we have nothing there except a heading. I think so we can do WP forms. Click and drag that here. So we don't have any forms created yet, but what this is referencing is a form that we'll go create here in just a second, saying display that form here in this section. So we don't need to display form name or description. We can just update it and then exit the dashboard. Let's remove the title and update that. Now under forms, let's add new, and this takes This takes us to WP forms, and we can just do our contact page form. It's always helpful to name them so you know exactly, if you have multiple forms, subscriber forms, and all that kind of stuff. Let's do a simple contact form. Let's create it. And here is our layout. You can drag in. It's just a drag and drop interface, just like we've been using with Elementor. You can change, you just have name and have just one field, or you can have your first and last name, email. If you want to grab the phone number, you can grab in numbers and go right here and change the title of that. It's not required. You can make it required and put that little red asterisk there. And then the email section, which is typically required with a name, and then their message and submit. And I think we can change this. Yeah, submit. You could say subscribe, send, whatever. You can add custom CSS classes to it. All sorts of cool stuff. Confirmation. This is confirmation type message. Confirmation message. Excuse me. Thanks for contacting us. We'll be in touch shortly. You can change that to say whatever you want it to say. You can add some custom HTML tags here to make it look differently than what it does by default. You can add a new confirmation. You can have different confirmations for different emails. All sorts of cool stuff. So let's save this. And we went through our setup. We went through our fields. And then the settings. We went through the general notifications. So here you can choose to send to a specific email, or you can use this code here to send it to the admin email or the logged in user's email, which our case is admin. The email subject, you can change this to show a specific subject or just a overall subject. And then from name, as grabbing field ID 0, which is here. Does it show? Right here, ID 0. So this is a field, ID 0 for this guy. It looks like it's this whole thing. So it is grabbing here. So it's grabbing the first and last name from email, admin email, and then reply to field ID 1, which is their email address here. And that's how it all ties together. Where's my cursor? There it is. And then all fields. And then just whatever they typed, and then a confirmation message. So there you go. So now we have saving that. We can embed it with this short code. Let's copy that. We can close that, and we can exit out of this. We're no longer in here. We have our contact form. Come back here to pages, contact us, edit with Elementor, and then here we can click on this. Now we can choose this form, or, well, that phone looks incredible, we'll have to change that. Or you can add a section here. In that section, text editor, and then we can just paste this. Is this not right? So it's not taking that short code. Let's delete this. Is there a short code? There is a short code. So this short code, and it does the same thing. So that is a form. Let's update that, come back over here, exit this, come up here, let's refresh this, contact us, and it looks good. I don't know why in Elementor it was showing the phone field all weird and janky, but there it is. And it should be responsive, which it is. So there we go, guys. And we can do Dan right there. That is actually not my phone number. We can do 555-555-123. What? Yeah, sure, why not? Test. Submit. Thanks for contacting us. And there it is. And you can do a page redirect as well. If you want to redirect to a different page after form submission, then that is totally doable too. Take them back to the home page or back to the contact page. Okay, so for the last thing, before we call it quits today, we need to work on the footer. And that is something really easy to do. And let's just jump into that. We can do that here. There's a couple different ways. We can go through Elementor and create a global footer and add it to every single page, or we can set a specific footer for specific pages. So in this video, we'll just use the one built into the theme to customize the footer. We'll do that by going to Appearance and Widgets. And as you see, we have our default sidebar, which we were looking at earlier, and it has the search and the metadata. We can edit that while we're here. It just shows recent posts and archives and all that kind of stuff. We have our left sidebar, search bar, but then down here we've got footer 1, footer 2, footer 3, and footer 4. And that's going to show up on down here in this dark area. So these are the available widgets that we can use. And let's see here, what should we do? We can do a contact info, and you can either click and drag it like so, or you can just click it and then choose the location. So we're going to add this contact information to footer 1. So here we are. You can call it contact me, contact us, whatever. And it comes with a pre-filled phone number and address. We'll just leave everything as is, and it already saves. If you change anything, you can just hit save there. But if we come over here now and we refresh the page, now we've got a contact section in our footer. So that's column 1, and obviously you can remove any of this stuff. So if we don't want it that long, we can remove the facts, and you just remove the facts section by just emptying or clearing these fields. So now the fax card here is empty. We'll save it, come back over here and refresh, and then that whole fax section is gone. So it kind of cleans it up just a little bit. So we can have, let's see, what else should we do? There are, I think there's a social, there's social icons. We can do that. So we can do that on like, let's go footer 3. So here we are in footer 3, and you can say follow us, and a few styles built in here. You can add your own padding and whatnot. You can change the background of all that. But then here is where you add your social media URL, so whichever ones you have. So let me just add mine real quick just to show you. That's what it is. We'll do Facebook, Instagram. So you can fill in Twitter, Pinterest, all the other ones that you have. I'm not going to take the time to do all that. So far we have our footer 1 with our contact info widget, and our footer 3 with our social icons. So we come over here and we can refresh the page, and we've got footer or widget 1 and widget 3. So there's 4 of them, which allows up to 4 columns. If you skip some like I did, this is widget 1 and this is widget 3, it automatically puts them close together. If you hover it at the bottom left down here, you can see that takes you to those social media sites. Now if we add a social or a widget 2, then it will scoot social over to the column 3, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So in footer 2, I want to add, let's just do custom links, and then you can do useful links, and we can grab some of these. Let's just go to blog. We can copy that, we can come over here, and URL, and then text. So it's the location of where you want this link to go to, and then the text that you'll see. So if we save that, and then we come back here and we go back to the home page, come down here, and it shows all these with the bullet points, and we'll fill those in too. That's fine. But now blog, it's one of our menu items up here, is now accessible down here in the bottom. And this is where you can add your like privacy policy, which we had that page right here. So we can copy that and URL and text. We can go privacy policy. Save that. Refresh, and then there we go. Okay, and then these extra ones here, if we only have like 2 or 3 custom links we want to use, then we can get rid of these little empty spots right here in the widget itself. It says number of custom links. We can do, for this one, we can just do 2. And if we save that, come up here and refresh, and there, it's just 2. And you can have another set of custom links there as well. I don't think there's a way to duplicate this one. Yeah, so we can just do this. 3 custom links. And this is just for the sake of this video. Obviously you would do your own custom links. I put that under 3. I want it under 2. Another helpful thing, since you'll be working on eventually you'll put it on a live server. You'll be hosted. A trick you can do with PHP, which is the programming language, the backend language that WordPress is built on. You don't need to do absolute URL paths. You can do relative. So what I mean by that, instead of having your entire URL right there, you can do /blog. I just do another slash there. But you can just do this, and it's going to do the same exact thing. So if I were to save this, come over here and refresh, down here in the bottom, you'll see when I hover over it, it still says the URL /blog, the URL /privacy policy. So just a cool little shorter way to do your links, and you can do that anywhere. You can do it in your header with a page, or just any link that goes to some other page. You can just do a slash instead of typing out the whole right here. And let's just do 2 on this one as well, and then again we can just do /blog and blog and /privacy, or this one can be /contact us and contact us. And anytime you have 2 words together in a URL, it requires the actual URL. Oh, this one's just contact, but like here, privacy policy, it requires a dash. So you can't put you can't do privacy space policy here. It would have to be privacy dash policy. So anyway, contact, save that, come here and refresh, and there you go. Goes to contact, that goes to blog, privacy policy, and so forth. So one more thing I want to do on this last footer over here is we can do I'm going to do Control F and search for form. WP forms right here. We can go to footer 4, add widget, and then right here from before we created a form. This is what I was talking about earlier. You can create different forms to show up on different parts of your website. So where we created our form before in WP forms, we had a first name, last name, phone number, email, and text area. You can change that to just email and a button, and call the button subscribe, and that's going to show up, and you can name it like subscribe form, and you can add that down here to your footer if you would like. And what that would do is put refresh. It would put just an input with a button saying subscribe, and you can title it, subscribe. So I can let you guys build that form and play with it there. This is just showing you how you can add different widgets to your footer. That is going to be about it. We've covered our website, the theme, the plugins, the blog posts, different pages, the menu, and then kind of overall styling. So I hope that gives you guys enough to kind of work on and play with yourself to make the site look exactly how you guys would like it to look. But anyway, guys, there we go. We created a website with some blogs, individual blog posts, kind of a different layout, for each post. Messed a little bit with sidebars, not much. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, coming to hang out today. If you have any questions or comments about anything that I did or that you want to know how to do differently, post them in the video and I'll get back with you. I'm always creating videos. I love creating content. I love helping you guys out. So let me know what you guys need help with and I will get it pushed out to you guys as soon as possible. Again, thank you so much for hanging out, and until next time, we'll see you then.